Okay, folks, this is for something I really hate catching. It's supposed to soothe your throat and it's meant to clear your nose. Oh, yeah, you guessed it's the flu. I don't want to catch the flu. I take all the trouble I can to avoid it. I now wear a KN95 mask when I go on out in public, especially on public transport where it's really needed. And I only take it off when I'm eating. When I eat, or should I say, usually drink coffee, I basically take it off, drink my coffee or have my lunch, and then put it back on as soon as I'm finished. So I sanitize my hands to do that. So I don't have the ability to tolerate the stuffiness of nose. I get really bad. The congestion I get is really bad. It's so bad that it just drives me bonkers trying to breathe. I can't fucking breathe with all my unable to swallow properly because it's so fucking congested. And I just get so annoyed with people when they use public transport. If they've got a car and a license, they should fucking drive, not fucking infect people on public transport who don't have any other choice but to take public transport. That's what fucking annoys me about people, because I'm pretty sure people still take public transport when they've got a license. I know it costs more to drive and it's more harder to park, but for fuck's sake, don't give your fucking flu and cough and cold and flu and shit to other people who don't need it or want it. And the same goes with COVID. Fortunately for me, I don't get severe COVID symptoms. I get basically asymptomatic or very mild, if anything. But when it comes to cold and flu, it's like, look out, it fucks me. And this is what we're photocopying. I think it's from an Anticol wrapper, and I hope this wrapper has been on the ground long enough for the germs to disappear. Have had it for a while, but basically I do pick things off the street because I'm trying to get my work recognised. I can't afford to buy things to make my photocopier demos, so I just pick things off the ground, including stuff like this. But basically I just get so annoyed when someone's got the flu and they're right. I try to sit away from people who have what appears to be the flu. Even the slightest sniffle or cough sends me into fucking alert mode. And that's come up looking really quite interesting. I was meant to make it a negative image, not a positive, but it's come up looking really quite nice, strangely enough. But yeah, it's really difficult. I just can't breathe properly when I'm sick. I can't breathe, folks. Really, the breathing is so fucking difficult. It's not funny. It really isn't funny. I don't want to get sick. I don't want to have to go to bed and not sleep for a couple of nights because I've hit the worst of my congestion period, and I still get a fever. And the fever lasts for up to 3 weeks. I have to keep taking paracetamol, which is not healthy to take any more than like a few days or so. You're not supposed to take too much of that paracetamol. But what else can I do? I get so fucking sick. I get so fucking ill and I can't function very well. So yeah, I just wish people would just leave their cold and flu in their car at their workplace. Oh, they shouldn't go to work, they should call in sick, maybe work from home. I know a lot of people would love to work from home, especially since the COVID era. People have wanted to stay working at home, and it's a good thing, folks, to stay working at home. That looks shit house. Yeah, stay working at home. I like the detail of this darkened version, actually. But yeah, I just wish the cold and flu wasn't being passed around as much as it has been. And people just don't seem to care that there are people who just can't tolerate it. And people can't tolerate COVID, of course. There's a lot of people who are immunocompromised, who can't handle COVID, or there's people who've got long COVID. So, this la-di-da attitude about not wearing a mask on public transport, I really don't like it. I'm not happy with it. Fortunately, I'm not immunocompromised, and I'm certainly fortunate I don't have long COVID. But it would be probably a lot worse than the symptoms that I get from a cold and a flu. Fortunately, I don't need hospitalisation for the flu. Not quite that bad, but bad enough that it causes a major disruption. So I'm going to keep wearing my mask. I'm going to keep trying to socially distance whenever I can on public transport. Sit near the front, near where the driver sits. They call it the pillion seat. The one that's pretty much on its own, away from all the other people. I try to catch the bus there. Whatever I can do, I try to do, and it's really difficult. People don't seem to understand. I just hate the sniffles and the coughs, the sneezing. All these are warning signs that I gotta get out of here. Gotta move elsewhere and hope someone you sit next to is nowhere worse. So, yeah, I really get peeved about this shit. These anti-colds don't do anything anyway, folks. They don't clear the nose or soothe the throat. Oh, they don't. They're just cough lollies, for fuck's sake. They're just fucking cough lollies. Useless. Ugh. Or at least for my intensity, they don't work. Because my nose gets really congested. And, yeah. So they're just cough lollies, folks. But, they've been on the market for decades. I remember them when I was a kid. I used to think it was fun to get a cold so that you could take these. But these are just lollies, for fuck's sake, pretty much. They're not really a true remedy. They're not proper pharmaceutical, and that's looking really quite interesting. I think we can now call this demo quits.